Hello my Earth Wars friends, I'm your host CF, and this is CFTactics. We'll be exploring base building, and these are going to be a series of videos, and these videos will include updates that aren't in my original Reddit articles upon which they are based. Here, we are on part 1 of the series, Understanding Your Base. Disclaimer: in Earth Wars, there isn't a TFEW Base Layout that is 100% impervious. There is always going to be a weakness or vulnerability in any base layout. The longevity of your base depends on several factors. However, even accounting for these factors in your layout, you are still going to have some form of a weakness in your base. It may be more difficult to defeat, but it is defeatable. With this understanding out of the way, let's begin to move on and understand some strategies, optimizations, and concepts that can assist you in creating a base that will resist being beaten continuously, and areas that are often overlooked or forgotten about to help you build a manageable, sustainable base. Understanding the buildings of your base. There are a lot of buildings available to your base, and as such, I'll list them out here along with their maximum quantities that are available. I understand some players won't have these buildings yet or have unlocked them yet, but as you grow and you get higher levels in your base, you will get these buildings. The total number of buildings available once you reach HQ 18 is 116. This total does include walls, and yes, that is a lot of buildings to work with in a very limited space. Understanding the orientation of your base. When asking for help, and that help is being offered, I've noticed most people don't understand that you're looking down at your base. Understanding that orientation of your base is critical when trying to understand positioning of the buildings and walls. The left flank of your base is essentially the right side of your screen. The right flank of your base is the left side of your screen. The back of your base is the top of your screen. The front of your base is the bottom of the screen. Understanding your buildable area. Your base has a buildable area, and it's very easy to denote it. However, I've highlighted it here in green so that you can see that the base's buildable area is. I've got to also note that this buildable area is not completely symmetric. It's designed that way. Its width and height are actually an odd number value, so you will need to take this into account if you like symmetrical or evenly based designs. Gaps and misalignments can occur if you're hard set on symmetrical designs. Debris hurts you, not helps you. The debris or earth buildings on your base layout are not there for your advantage. They interfere with your building space, and they often create gaps in your defenses and buildable area that the opposing team can and will exploit. Clearing the debris from your base as quickly as possible, and if memory serves, you gotta be about HQ 10 to do so. Yes, it will cost energon, but this will be a necessary expense to build your base and extend your coverage. Starve your enemies and stop the resource hunt. One of the biggest mistakes that are made are giving your opposition special ability points or mana. Placing your utility buildings like your combiner lab, your scanner, your research lab, your storages, that type of thing at the front of your base gives your opposition energy to power themselves and defeat you. These buildings give lots of spark, usually a +3 level, as opposed to your defensive buildings which are generally +1 spark. Keep these buildings out of reach of your opposition for as long as possible. Starve your enemy, and they will have less of a chance to defeat you. Your enemies are generally on the hunt for resources, like energon or alloy. Do not give them that. Move your storages, like your energon storage and your alloy storage to the back of your base. If you want to make the resource hunt painful, surround your storages with offensive buildings or outposts. Make them hurt for taking your resources. Avoid clustering your offensive buildings. Clustering is putting several defense buildings together in a small area. Clustering your offensive buildings can potentially lead to your base becoming defenseless very quickly. As you upgrade your base levels and become more advanced and unlock more buildings, avoiding clustering becomes more difficult. However, there are ways to make powerful clusters, which we'll address in further parts of the guide. Spreading out your base eats up both time and eventually resources on your opponent's team. Making the opposition traverse your base, with some perils along the way, can assist on prolonging the life of your base and lead to a possible victory. Avoid doubling up on walls. Doubling up on walls may seem like a sound strategy against air class or special class bots, but you'll only be opening up the use of warriors and gunners. Gunners can shoot over walls, and warriors can usually smash through them. So the only person you're hurting in the long run is yourself. We'll address using walls effectively in other parts of the guide. There you are, my Earth Wars friends, the introduction to base building. There will be more parts of this guide coming, and I'm sorry it was so long, but there's no easy way to make complex topics short. If you've stayed around this long, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, and share. It really does help out. Thank you to both the Reddit users and the CFTactics subscribers who DM'd me who urged for this video to get made. I hope you enjoyed the Base Building Guide Part 1, Understanding Your Base. I've been your host CF, and this has been another episode of CFTactics. Keep up the heroic nonsense, my friends. In dedication and memory, Rod. He had a heart of gold. He always wanted to make people smile or laugh. He always wanted to be like his dad, Freesius Max. So, Rod, in your memory, I'm dedicating my base building guide videos to you.